than human.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Joseph Carroll. I write under the pen name J.R. Carroll. And today we're going to talk about Justice of Kings. Yes. I'm a year late to the party. I remember when people were talking about this book, and it was before. It was, I don't know, what's it, 2 months or so before I started my channel here, and I kind of like, there was a lot of people putting out reviews when it first came out, and I think I even watched a few of the non-spoiler reviews, but I just don't know why it just never kind of clicked in my head to check it out. I think when I first started my channel, I had a whole bunch. I was really tight on my TBR, and I'm like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And now that my TBR is kind of, I've gotten some serious out of the way, I'm kind of more fluid with it. I heard that his sequel is coming out here in just like, I don't know, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. And I was like, well, I'm gonna go, read the first book and see if I like it, and then if I do, well, then you know what, I'm gonna try and grab the book as soon as it comes out, and be on the hype train with everybody else and see. So you're all probably wondering, well, did I like it enough to go on to the next book? And I'm not gonna make you wait for it. Yes, it was definitely good enough for me to want to jump right in to the next book and see kind of where it goes. Now, if any of you haven't read Justice of Kings, it's how would I describe it? I actually remember watching Mike's Book Reviews review, and he said that he'd heard people compare it to The Witcher, but he doesn't kind of get that. Actually, while I was reading it, that's what came to my mind. I was like, because a lot of people in the book, he is a justice, which is like, he goes around and for special cases, he's almost like an FBI agent. Like for the big cases, he'll go in and he has like complete and utter control of the situation. He can take it over from a sheriff or whatever. His name is Conrad. Now, he also has abilities or powers, however you want to go. He can do certain things with his voice, and kind of has deductive powers, and he has some powers that he can work with the dead and certain things, and other justices have other powers. Like I think he said, like, you really can't have more than 2 or 3 powers, but there are different kinds. So I assume we'll see more of that in the up and coming book. But yeah, I definitely kind of got that Witcher vibe, because it's like, a lot of the people think that the justices are going away and they're modernizing, and they don't need people like him anymore. Kind of like, you don't, like, the Witchers are a thing of the past. So I definitely got that vibe even before what Mike said. I was like, yeah, I was thinking about that already. But it's a really cool kind of concept. It's told in first person, but we bounce, and the story itself is mainly told by his clerk, Helena. Now I think she's 19 years old, and he kind of picked her up off the street, kind of found family type thing. But she's a clerk. She can speak 3 languages. She's super smart. She's tough. But she shows a lot of emotion, cries a lot throughout the book. But she's a very interesting character, and it's told as she's an old lady. I mean, she says this multiple times throughout the book, like, I'm old now or whatever. So we know she's gonna make it through this story, and which a lot of times I don't like. Like Stephen King does this a lot, where he'll kind of, you know what's gonna happen or what's not gonna happen because of what he tells you early. And something, well, Stephen King's really bad. He'll tell you exactly what's gonna happen, and then his books are so big, you forget after 800 pages. But I think Richard has done something really, really good with this. I think he might be like he's gonna be like the next like it guy. Could be like the next Joe Abercrombie or something. Because I also got like Abercrombie from this, kind of a mixture of The Witcher. I've heard Sherlock Holmes, but I really wasn't thinking that. I was thinking more like The Witcher meets Glockta. Although he's not like Glockta like breaks the law all the time. This guy is like, no one's above the law. The law, the law, the law. Stick to it. And then towards the end, a lot of different things happen. But I really think that this this style could be something that a lot of people are probably going to emulate now. I really feel, because I'm not going to say it's never been done before, but it's very different. He's kind of, like I said, he's kind of like an FBI agent. So there's I've heard people also say kind of like a Dresden Files thing, where there's a who done it in it, and then there's another what do you want to say? There's another arc that's inside this, that's all kind of happening together, and they all kind of merge. We hear that there's something going on in the Empire, and throughout this book, they keep going back to Conrad. People asking Conrad, well, when's the last time you went back to the capital? Basically, well, when's the last time you went back to the capital? Things are changing, and he said it's been like 2 years. So we don't know what's happening over there in the capital while he's doing his little murder mystery of this noblewoman. But yeah, I don't want to give too much of it away if you haven't read it, because it's not, the mysteries and everything is not super deep. So anything I would do would kind of give stuff away. I just wanted to kind of give you guys like what the book really, like what it feels like. Again, you have the Empire changing thing, times are changing, Witcher vibe. Some people will say the Sherlock Holmes thing. But I really think that people are going to like, the perspective that it gives you. Now, to me, the weakest part of this book, I have been just coming off of the First Law trilogy. I just finished the First Law trilogy, and it had some of the best, like, inner dialogue, and then also, I just finished the entire series of Expeditionary Force with Craig Allinson, is the best dialogue writer. I mean, he has more dialogue in his books than anybody else, and you just love it. Here, the inner dialogue is not quite as good as Abercrombie, and when things are happening in this book, it's great, but I didn't find myself as captivated when Helena is just kind of telling you like in between things actually happening, just the normal descriptions of things and how she feels and this and that, were not really that captivating. Though I will say that Richard Swan is an amazing writer. His technical, like, his prose are really good. Some people say it's like more modern, but and maybe towards the end of the book it feels that way. But really at the beginning of the book, it's strongly like your medieval, very, very old school prose. But I am definitely going to jump in. I know a lot of people, it seemed like as I looked into the videos, a lot of people got advanced copies. So, I mean, I'm not going to get an advanced copy. Hopefully, I'm going to start trying to weasel my way and start asking some places to get advanced copies of books, but it won't be his next one, The Tyranny, which is, like I said, 3 weeks away. But I'm gonna try and get through that book really, because this book was super quick to get through, and I'm gonna try to do the same thing for the new book and be one of the first people and trying to ride the hype train of a new author, new book. Have you guys read the first book, The Justice of Kings? Are you hyped for Tyranny? Let me know in the comments. And remember, be more than human.